name is Kat Wendorf. Most of you know me as Lady Travel of Top Secret Travel. And today is Thursday, April the 4th, 2024. I'm excited to be here with you to bring you the latest news and offerings on all things savings and travel related. As you know, Monday, April Fool's Day, was the day where we could pull a prank on someone. Well, Sugar, Spice, and Glitter pranked her children, and she posts the recipe that she pranked them with a dinner tart that resembles, as you see, a chicken pot pie. What is it made of, you might wonder? Well, the ingredients are simple, actually. Vanilla pudding, graham-ready mini pie crust, bananas, fruit chews. Different colors of the fruit chews, like for the carrot, and then, maybe the peas, the green lime one. That's creative. What kid wouldn't want that for dinner? I know my grandkids would love that. Now for this week's non-April Fool's news. Please be careful to note that these are just stories that we happen upon and are not meant to reflect the views of Top Secret Travel or its host agencies. The first news story that we have for you, the FAA bans United Airlines from carrying out the certification activities as the agency steps up scrutiny following a slew of mishaps. United Airlines is being scrutinized by the FAA following a series of embarrassing and potentially dangerous mishaps over the last few weeks. United's VP of Corporate Safety, Sasha Johnson, said that they welcome the heightened scrutiny and was very open to hear from them about what they find and their perspective on things that they may need to change to make things safer. The FAA has temporarily banned United from carrying out a variety of certification activities, and FAA personnel will be involved going forward. Some of the most recent incidents include the rudder pedals on a United Boeing 737 that became stuck as the captain was making his approach to land, or let us not forget the right-hand side flaps on the 757 aircraft wing that were disintegrating during the flight, or the tire that fell off the 777 from the San Francisco airport at takeoff, or the landing gear of the 737 MAX that collapsed after the plane rolled onto the grass on the Houston runway. It goes on and on. You get the drift. In the leaked internal memo, Johnson wrote, "We have a strong safety culture at United. Still, the number of safety-related events in recent weeks have rightfully caused us to pause and evaluate whether there is anything we can and should do differently. After all, safety is foundational to the success of our airline, and we can never take it for granted," Johnson continued. "As you'd expect, we've stepped up our interactions with FAA recently, and they echo these sentiments. They agree that we need to take an ever-close look at multiple areas of our operation to ensure we are doing all we can to promote and drive safety compliance. The staffers have been warned to look for the increase in FAA's presence during the coming weeks. Let's see what happens next." I don't know if you remember the Trekkie couple back in October 23 of 2022. They took their kids on a direct flight from Turkey to Brazil, and they checked in 2 strollers and 6 suitcases. And the tags were taken from one of the strollers, and 4 days later, they were used on a 43 kg of cocaine. And the Brazilian police had investigated this while this couple was held in a Turkish prison. And they've been there ever since. And the Brazilian police investigation revealed that they were victims of an international gang swapping luggage at the airport. Turkish authorities insisted the couple needs to stay in prison until their final trial, which will be next month in May. They face up to 30 years in jail, and they may never see their 2 young sons grow up. This is really going to be an interesting one to see how this folds out next month, and we're going to keep an eye on that. In an update on Boeing news, Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun stepped down, and he released this statement. Calhoun said he made the decision to step down. It was me giving them notice that at the end of this year, I plan to retire," Calhoun told CNBC. He said he wanted to stay to the end of the year to address quality issues. COO Stephanie Pope has been appointed to lead Boeing commercial airplanes effective Monday, March 25th. So she has already taken over. An American Airlines passenger was put in a headlock and forced off the plane after hurling a slur at the flight attendant. According to the affidavit, he yelled blue-eyed white devils and threatened to take this plane down. Let's take a look.
Well, exactly with two individuals against one. Yes. I didn't hear anyone say, look, yeah, it's okay. Raising my voice to a female, I'll see about it. You type, you have to type in and I'm sitting down on the road with you. Yeah, I'm sitting down in the air. If you're sitting down alone,
You can't make this stuff up. Orlando International Airport had its highest passenger count in history on March the 16th. A total of 102,064 travelers departed MCO. And if we include the arrivals on that day, we are at 128,000, the most that they've ever witnessed in history. Go Orlando. Did I mention I'm not in the market to go to the airport or fly on a plane? Yeah, we'll skip that. In cruise news, an unusual new cruise ship is hitting the industry with a concept that brings the past to the present. This cruise ship may resemble a ship of the past, but it's actually brand new. The concept is to carry only 136 passengers and provide a more intimate feel. However, it offers large, luxurious staterooms, bars, lounges, a library, and a gym. It also has all the modern-day amenities and comforts that you would want on a ship. We're talking full-size bathtubs, an upscale eatery, fresh seafood, and even a small spa. The Sea Cloud Spirit is technically a yacht, and she will cost you about $3,000 per person to start to sail on her. Let's take a quick look.
This is the most unusual new cruise ship of the decade. Watching 18 crew members steering about high the rigging and unfurling the sails of Sea Cloud Spirit feels more like being on board the Black Pearl in Pirates of the Caribbean than on a cruise ship. In the small world of large sailing ships, Sea Cloud Spirit is one of a handful of vessels that have sails that are still set by hand in this way. But as I saw recently on an 11-night voyage down the coast of Costa Rica and Panama, it's also a modern and upscale cruise vessel that will whisk you around such sailing-friendly destinations as the Caribbean in style. Carrying just 136 passengers, Sea Cloud Spirit's accommodations are notably roomy for a sailing vessel, with most measuring more than 200 square feet and many boasting spacious balconies. You can enjoy fine dining in the elegant restaurant, or for something more casual, head to the open-air bistro, where chefs prepare freshly caught lobster, filet mignon, and other delicacies of the grill. The bistro is also backed by a bar, which serves as the ship's main outdoor lounge space during the day and morphs into a drinking spot at night. All meals and drinks are included, as well as access to the ship's small but beautiful spa, where you'll find a finished sauna, steam room, foot bath, and a relaxation room. You also get some destination activities included, like snorkeling and a visit to the indigenous Kuna people. In contrast to what you'll find on many new cruise ships, the experience isn't about being amused while carving your way across the sea. It's about the simple thrill of traveling across the sea.
Wow, looks snazzy. What happened on the Carnival Sunrise? In Carnival Cruise news, major flooding on the Carnival Sunrise gave everyone Titanic vibes. What? I mean, 112 years ago, a horrible tragedy occurred when the Titanic sank. Fast forward to 2024. Passengers on board the Carnival Sunrise on March the 23rd woke up in the middle of the night to flooding, chaos, and panic all around them. Take a look.
We're cops. Of course people call us.
Okay, that may be a blunder. You'll have to forgive me. Our flooding guy has gone. He was on here earlier. We'll bring you a video about it next week to show you the actual flooding to make up for that. In Royal Caribbean news, we have an 80s cruise planned for 2025. Do you like music, movies, and pop culture of the 80s? Are you a wild child of the 80s like I am? If so, let Top Secret Travel hook you up with the better cabins, the better price, and of course, a perk for booking with us. We will set sail from Miami on March the 2nd, 2025, visiting San Juan, Puerto Rico, Nassau in the Bahamas, and Labadee, Haiti, returning to Miami on March the 9th. Book early because the last 80s cruise sold out super fast, and this one's going to be epic. They are going to have headliners such as Adam Ant and Squeeze, Christopher Cross, funk and R&B star Sheila E., and the pop stars Men at Work. Who doesn't like Men at Work? The last story that I want to share with you today is how to protect your wallet, mainly your credit cards. How to spot a credit card skimmer when using your card at a terminal. Take a look from CBS News.
This in the self-checkout lane could have turned into a quick crime in Rochester. Can you spot the difference in these credit card machines? One of them has a skimming device. Criminals attach them to steal your financial information. Jeff Wagner has been looking into this. I don't know, Jeff, a quick glance, I think it's hard to tell the difference.
Especially to the untrained eye like us. Now, the difference can be minute. And in this case, the skimming device attached on the top of the credit card reader is slightly wider than the regular one. You can see by those red indicators. But most people don't have the size of a credit card machine memorized, so it's easy to get caught up in this crime. Now, on the bottom, it's maybe a little bit easier to see. An attachment is added on top of the card reader at a gas pump, an area already well known for skimmer scams. The concern here is these devices can be attached for quite some time before anybody notices. The good news here is that Rochester police say no customers were victimized in this case. That's all thanks to staff at the store who could sense that something was off.
I believe it was a loss prevention person at the shopping center. Saw some suspicious activity when these persons were checking out. They reviewed the video a little bit closer, and it was amazing at how it just took only a matter of seconds before these individuals removed an item, the skimming machine, from their coat and applied it right to the top of the payment device.
So how can you better protect yourself? Police say if a credit card machine looks weird or tampered with, compare it to other card readers near you to see if there's a difference. Check if the card reader is loose, off-center, or if some of the parts on it wiggle. Lastly, if you're unsure, head to a register that has a person working at it. Now, as for the case in Rochester, police are still searching for the people who attach those skimmers from it.
Wow. It happens. It happens more often than we find in the news. Well, that about wraps it up for this Fool's Week, and I hope the Easter Bunny left you some snacks in your basket. I just on mine. I mean, I got those jelly beans on half price today at the Dollar Tree. By the way, did you know the Dollar Tree is going to be the $1.50 tree very soon? Yeah. We appreciate you listening to us today, and we hope that this channel will bring you the content that you, the consumer, need to make an informed decision when deciding how, where, and how much to spend on your travel plans, and who to book through Top Secret Travel. We encourage you to like and subscribe and tell your friends and coworkers all about us. Please go out, shop your travel, get your quotes, and then send them to us at info@topsecrettraveltips.com. And we will see if we can price match you, beat the price, and or offer you a perk for booking with us. I assure you, you will be happy that you did. Until next time, travel like a king or a queen. Bye for now.